Have you ever wondered what happens when a charity can't manage its own finances? Let's look at Sentebale, a charity once lauded as a beacon of hope for vulnerable children and now teetering on the brink of collapse. The final accounts are in, and they paint a grim picture. Despite an extended accounting period, Sentebale brought in £3.35 million, but spent nearly £5 million. That's a staggering deficit of £1.63 million. When an organisation that relies heavily on donations spends far more than it raises, it's not just concerning, it's a clear sign of financial mismanagement. But how did it get to this point? It's a question that requires us to delve deeper into the charity's financial practices. The overspending didn't happen in a vacuum. It's a result of a series of decisions that led to a significant drain on resources without a corresponding increase in income. It's like a household spending more than its income month after month, digging itself into a deeper hole of debt. Except in this case, the household is a charity, and the debt threatens its very existence. And what's more, this isn't just about numbers on a balance sheet. It's about the vulnerable children who depend on the charity for support. It's about the donors who trusted the organisation with their hard-earned money, expecting it to be used wisely and effectively. For Sentebale, the £1.63 million deficit isn't just a financial problem, it's a crisis of trust, a crisis of credibility, and a crisis of leadership. It's a stark reminder that good intentions aren't enough. They must be accompanied by sound financial management. For a charity that relies heavily on donations, this deficit is not just concerning, it's a sign of financial mismanagement. If Sentebale doesn't take immediate corrective action, it risks not just its future, but the future of those who depend on it. The reserves of Sentebale have taken an alarming dip. What was once a robust safety net for the charity has dwindled, leaving the organisation teetering on the brink of financial ruin. Let's delve into the numbers for a moment. The reserves have plummeted a staggering 74%, from a comfortable £2.19 million to a mere £567,000. This is a shocking decrease, and it paints a clear picture of a charity in crisis. Now, this isn't just a concerning figure on a balance sheet. These reserves represent the lifeblood of the charity, the funds that keep the organisation running when times are tough or when unexpected costs arise. With reserves this low, the charity is left vulnerable, with little to no buffer against financial hardship. But what's even more alarming is what this precipitous drop tells us about the charity's management. This isn't a sudden crash. It's the result of a sustained period of overspending. It speaks to a lack of strategic planning, a failure to balance the books and ensure the charity's long-term sustainability. It's a glaring red flag that signals poor financial stewardship. And the implications of this are serious. With reserves so depleted, Sentebale is skating on thin ice. Any further financial strain could push it over the edge, forcing it to shut its doors for good. For a charity that has done so much good, this is a devastating prospect. It's clear that Sentebale is in dire straits. The depletion of its reserves is a symptom of deeper issues within the organisation, issues that threaten its very survival. It's a wake-up call, and one that demands immediate action. This kind of reserve depletion doesn't happen overnight. It shows prolonged overspending and poor strategic planning. It's a stark reminder that good intentions are not enough. Without sound financial management, even the most noble of causes can find themselves on the brink of disaster. Sentebale's cash on hand paints a grim picture of its financial health. And, as we delve deeper into the numbers, the situation appears increasingly dire. The charity's cash on hand has seen a staggering fall, dropping by 61% from £1.43 million to a mere £556,000. This significant decrease in liquid assets signals a severe liquidity crisis. In the world of finance, liquidity refers to the ability of an entity to meet its short-term financial obligations. The lower the liquidity, the higher the risk of defaulting on these obligations. Now, you might be wondering, what does this mean for Sentebale? Well, it suggests that the charity is struggling to keep its financial commitments. Whether it's paying for the upkeep of facilities, compensating staff, or funding the programs that it has committed to, Sentebale is finding it increasingly challenging to meet these obligations. Moreover, this drastic drop in cash on hand could have serious implications for the charity's future operations. Without sufficient liquid assets, it will be difficult for Sentebale to respond effectively to unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. This could limit the charity's ability to adapt and respond to changing circumstances, putting its mission to aid vulnerable children at risk. The charity's liquidity crisis is a clear indication of financial mismanagement. An organisation of Sentebale's stature should have robust financial planning and management systems in place to avoid such a predicament. It's a stark reminder of the importance of financial sustainability in the non-profit sector. To sum it up, the liquidity crisis at Sentebale is a worrying sign of the charity's financial instability. It's a red flag that signals deeper issues within the organisation, such as poor financial planning and oversight. In plain terms, Sentebale is struggling to pay its bills. Unless drastic measures are taken to address these financial woes, the charity's ability to carry out its mission and serve vulnerable children could be at serious risk. A key pillar of Sentebale's financial strength has vanished. The silver lining that once was, the corporate donors, have now become an absent entity in the charity's balance sheet. The support from these benefactors was instrumental in maintaining the charity's operations, and their sudden disappearance has left a void that's difficult to fill. Why did this happen, you might wonder? The report points to a certain Sophie as the culprit, allegedly responsible for driving away these crucial partners. This isn't just about lost income, it's about lost credibility. The relationships a charity fosters with its corporate partners are a testament to its integrity and reliability. When those relationships falter, it's a signal that something isn't quite right. Now let's talk about the impact. The loss of corporate donors doesn't just mean less money, it means less sustainability. These partnerships often provide consistent, reliable funding that charities can count on. Without them, Sentebale is left scrambling to find alternative sources of revenue, a task that's easier said than done. Moreover, losing corporate donors can create a domino effect. Other potential donors may see this exodus and think twice before opening their wallets. The result? A downward spiral of diminishing funds and dwindling trust. And let's not forget the human impact. Every pound lost is a pound that can't go towards helping vulnerable children. It's not just Sentebale that suffers, it's the countless individuals who rely on their aid. In conclusion, the loss of corporate donors is a significant blow to Sentebale. These partnerships were more than just a source of funds. They were a seal of approval, a sign of trust, and a lifeline for maintaining operations. Now, with that lifeline cut, Sentebale faces an uphill battle to regain its footing and restore its reputation. Corporate sponsorships are the backbone of sustainable charity work. Losing them is fatal. Event income, a major source of funding for Sentebale, has seen a shocking decline. This vital revenue stream, which once bolstered the charity's coffers, has plummeted by over 50%. Once upon a time, Sentebale's events were a magnet for philanthropy, a testament to the charity's influence and reach. But now, the income from these gatherings has dwindled from £1.6 million to a mere £715,000. What lies at the heart of this decline? A toxic mix of poor relationships with sponsors, a palpable lack of trust, and weak leadership. Sponsors are the lifeblood of event income, and without their support, these events lose their financial firepower. Trust, once lost, is hard to regain, and weak leadership can only compound these issues, turning a temporary downturn into a persistent problem. For a charity that once drew major global attention, this fall is shocking. Sentebale's fundraising efforts seem to be costing more than they're bringing in. What should ideally be a profitable endeavour appears to be a financial drain, with the charity spending an astonishing £554,000 on fundraising but netting a mere £293,000 in general donations. This glaring discrepancy is more than a simple error in budgeting. It's a gross inefficiency that calls into question the charity's financial practices. It's like digging a hole in the ocean. The more they spend, the less they seem to have. This doesn't just suggest a lack of strategic planning, but also hints at questionable spending habits. Are the funds being used wisely? Are they reaching the intended beneficiaries? Or are they being swallowed up in a financial black hole? When fundraising costs nearly double the income, it raises serious red flags about transparency and accountability.